morning, Quirky Birders, it's Lynn here, and welcome to another episode of your Quirky Bird Watercolour Advent Challenge. Now today we're going to be doing this lovely little illustration of a snow globe. So I've got my card ready, and I've just got a little template. This is a little bit of washi tape actually, so I'm just going to use that as a template, and I'm just going to draw around that just to give me that lovely shape. So I'll come all the way around, and then I've got that lovely circle shape. And then what I need to do is we need to just pop the base on. So I'm going to bring a line out from the side of the circle, and we'll just mirror that the other side. And then we can put a nice rounded bottom on there. Like so. Now inside the little snow globe, I've just got very, very simple little Christmas tree and a little cottage. But you can choose what you would like to add to your snow globe. You don't have to do the same as me. It could be that you add a little gingerbread man, it could be a larger Christmas tree. It doesn't have to be this little house, but we're just going to pop this little house in. So I've just done the roof, and let's bring the side down of the house. And our house is in a little bit of snow, so it doesn't matter if it's coming off centre, it's absolutely fine. I'll pop the door in there. And then let's add a couple of windows. We can then pop a chimney on. And then let's bring in the snow. Like so. Okay, so once we've drawn pretty much that, we can then start to paint. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just a smaller brush this time, so I'm just actually using a size 3. So using your size 3 brush, and we're going to start with the sky. So I'm going to start with that lovely blue, and I'm just going to put just a couple of squiggles of colour just on the background initially, and then just re-wet your brush and just use that wet brush just then to smooth that sky out. So I'll take that colour across. There we go. I'm just going to give it a few minutes for that colour to dry. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take up the colour red. And let's just use the red to freehandly draw in a couple of little heart shapes. That's going to form the decoration of our base. Now again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. If you want to just put a solid colour base in, you can do. I think it looks quite pretty with this decoration on the base. And whilst we're working with that lovely red, let's just put a little bit of colour into our little cottage. And we'll come between the windows. There we go. And you can always add a little bit of colour to the chimney as well, that lovely red. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of leaf detail in the base as well. So the next colour that we're going to use is the colour green. And all I'm going to do is just use the tip of the brush and just create just a couple of nice fluid lines either side of our heart shapes. So you just use the tip of the brush just to create those lines. And then you can add the leaves, so you can just add some little loops. Again, very simple little paint marks, just using the tip of the brush. And I haven't reloaded my brush. I'm still using the same paint that I had on the brush initially. So don't overwork it. Don't flood your paper with the paint. And we'll continue down that side. There we go. Just pop those little leaves in. I've just got a couple that are just sat a little bit heavy with paint, so I'm just going to just lift away that excess. There we go. Right, what I can do now that blue sky has had a little bit of time to dry, is let's pop in that Christmas tree. So again, working with the green. I'm working freehand. I'm just going to start at the top, and I'm just going to squiggle my way down just to create that lovely shape of the Christmas tree. Put a little bit more colour in there, a couple of darker shades. There we go. Now I've just got a couple of little runs. It's just running into that blue ever so slightly. So I'm just going to just take a dry brush and just lift that away and just stop that running. And then the last little colour that I'm going to add to this design is the colour brown. And we're just going to pop a little tree trunk in. And then I'm going to have a little bit of snow on the roof. So let's just bring that line a little bit wavy and just do a nice little pale roof. And then finally, we'll take up a little bit of yellow. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of yellow into the door and in the windows. Okay, now in the example, we've just got this very nice pale purple background, and we can do that with this one as well. But if you're doing the background, then need to change to just a thicker brush. So I'm just going to use this size 5. And I've got a little bit of pale pink for my background. So again, what I'm going to do is just apply that colour, being careful around the actual illustration itself. And then I'm not going to reload my brush at all. I'm just going to work with the paint that I've applied the colour. And then let's just manipulate that paint. We can do the other side. Again, coming round the snow globe. There we go. You just want a nice even finish. I don't want there to be any sort of brush strokes around. You can then put a second layer of colour on if you want, just so you've got a little bit of interest. So we can just add some little darker shades. Let's add a little bit round the top. And just work with little cloud-like movements. We'll add a little bit more this side. Like so. Okay, so that's it for the painting of our snow globe. I'll be back in a little while once everything has actually dried. Okay, so our little snow globe has now dried and we can now work on adding in the ink details. So what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm actually going to make a start just by working on the inside of the snow globe. So we'll come around the outside edge of our little cottage. Add in the windows. Around the door. And then let's pop in the snowdrift. We'll add the chimney. Let's pop a little chimney pot on the top there. And then we can add in the snowdrift. Put in the tree trunk. And then for the Christmas tree, just wiggle and scribble your way down the shape of that tree. Like so. We can then work on the garland on the base, so we'll come around that little heart shape and then we can work on these green leaves, the foliage, just coming around those little loops of the leaves. I'll do the same the other side. And then let's bring the side down and around the base. Now when it comes to you working on the actual circle itself, the best thing to do is to just move your illustration around and just work in smaller pieces. So we can just go right the way around our little globe. And then we want to give the illusion of a little glass globe. So what we'll do is we'll create a little little highlight over the top of the globe, and then we can add some little circles all over the front of the design. Like so. And then between those circles, just use the tip of your pen just to dot around. Just to give that impression of a little bit of glitter. And then what you need to do is we'll put the little dotty border around our little card. And we'll come along the top. And then just down the sides. Okay. So once you've got your border in place, you can then add a little signature. And there you have it. One little illustration of a Christmas snow globe to add to your watercolour advent challenge. Hope you've enjoyed today. I shall be back again tomorrow. Goodbye.